Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of NASCARFemale.com's webcast, The Burnout, featuring myself, Kimberly Bowman, the OR for the number 24 of Chase Elliott, and my wonderful co-host, Emily Luther, the OR for the number 21 of Ryan Blaney. So, we have 2 more races, 3 spots filled, and 1 remains.
I can't think about it. I'm nauseous.
The most positive part, I think we discussed this last week, is, even if Chase or Ryan didn't make it into the last race, they made it this far, farther than last year.
Absolutely. And I'm at the point where if it's not Ryan or Chase, I pray to God it's Keselowski. I don't want JJ going for 8 because I do not want him to pass the King and Earnhardt. I'm sorry, I don't. I can't. And I don't want Denny after his incident with Chase. He should have been kicked out of the playoffs. But right. I said my rant about that last week, and I will keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, well, we didn't see any retaliation, which I don't think Chase would have chanced it. I didn't think he would.
So. I was so annoyed watching Twitter. So,
my gosh.
I listen to the races, on MRN, because I can't stand listening to the announcers on the television. I can't. They're so annoying.
Yeah,
I really feel joining the booth next year, really makes a difference, but I don't have high hopes for it anymore.
If he gets a word in edgewise.
Yeah, they don't shut up ever. And, they're so boring. They're so monotone. So, I listen to MRN because why not? I mean, it's better, obviously. Sorry, Thomas peeping in the background. And so I listened to MRN, and I was listening to it, and I was, scrolling through Twitter, and I'm like, if I see one more person be like, why isn't Chase retaliating? I wanted to be like, do you think his father raised him to be like,
since you didn't watch the race on TV, you'll be proud to know that every 20 minutes they would recap what happened last week between Chase and him. It was pretty constant. If you missed it last week, I mean,
oh my God,
they made sure people knew about it.
The worst part is I find out more information on Twitter than I feel like you do during an actual race on television.
I'm usually keeping up with both pretty much.
The sad part is you always see, because I follow a lot of, writers that, especially Matt Weaver, he's normally on top of it. I always like to give Matt a shout out when I can, because he's friends with Caitlin, and I met him, and he's really cool. And so, Matt is really up to date with it, and I really appreciate that. And I feel like he tweets about an accident before it even gets shown on TV. Him, Marty Smith is really good about it. Trying to think who else is normally really good on Twitter. And I'm I feel like people at home aren't even seeing this on TV. I've matched it up before, and Twitter is more ahead of time than the TV is. It blows my mind. And I know the satellites have a lot to do with it, because of how cable works and everything. But I still feel like part of the problem is that they always shoot to commercial during the worst parts ever. Ever.
Yeah.
I can't. It troubles me a lot.
Right. Well, I'm trying to remember everything that happened in this past week's race. I'm prepared for talking about Phoenix, and I forgot to get my recap prep ready. It wasn't an extremely exciting race, unless I missed something. I know something will come back to me in a few minutes.
So, I always like Texas just because I feel like it's a good race, but I feel like after the week before, the week before, there was just a lot of there was a lot of drama. So I feel like that completely just overshadowed Texas.
Of course, I loved it because it was Texas. So don't get me wrong. it had some long green flag runs. It's probably what made it feel a little monotonous. Probably. I'm trying to think.
I normally love Texas. I don't know.
And I got a feeling I'm trying to remember because there was a couple points I wasn't enjoying it, but I'm drawing a blank. Because it wasn't like dramatic moments like we had the week before, but it was still important to the race or whatever. Because the ending was pretty exciting, thinking about the points and everything.
So there weren't as many fireworks in the Cup race this weekend, but there were fireworks this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know, if you heard about the fight. Did you hear about the fight?
Who was it between? I probably did.
Brendan Gaughan and Ross Chastain.
Okay, no, I didn't.
So I love Ross Chastain. Like, he's one of the sweetest guys I've ever met. I met him. When did I meet Ross? 3 years ago. What year is this? 2017. I met him in 2014. I met him on a track in 2014. Yeah, 2014. And so one of the nicest guys I've ever met. So when I was reading the NASCAR this week and I saw that he got into a fight with somebody, I was like, wait a minute. There's no way Ross Chastain wouldn't fight anybody. Nope, he definitely did. Granted, Brendan got fists flew in this. I don't know if you know that, but fists were flying between the crews and the drivers. I still don't really know what happened during the actual race, but afterwards, Brendan Gaughan approached Ross Chastain and his crew, and punches just started flying.
You said that, and it reminded me, I just was watching on Facebook, they were throwing it back to the Clint Boyer, Jeff Gordon incident at Phoenix in 2012. Basically gave the championship to Keselowski.
Yeah.
The run.
Yeah. Wait, no, my favorite video from this week. I'm laughing. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Do you remember back in Texas when Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski got into a fight and it was all because of Kevin Harvick?
Vaguely.
Brad and Jeff had some issues on the track, which is fine. Well, then they brought it to pit road, and then Jeff approached Brad and got in his face, but didn't throw a punch or anything. Brad was trying to walk away, and all of a sudden Kevin Harvick comes out of nowhere and pushes Brad Keselowski into Jeff Gordon, and fish just started flying. It is one of my favorite fights of all time, just because of Kevin Harvick.
On the sideline, like the kid on the sidelines, just come on, fight.
Yeah. Well, I think Kevin was involved somehow, if I remember right. But
had to for him to do that.
He literally came up, pushed Brad. He came, you saw him shoot across the camera, pushed Brad into Jeff, and they got into a fight. One of my favorite fights.
I'll have to look that up.
It's hilarious.
All right. So we have clinch scenarios.
I have to.
Okay.
I have anxiety thinking about it.
Okay, but the clinching scenarios aside, who do you think, numbers-wise and logically, who do you think gets the 4th spot? Before we talk
numbers-wise, honestly, 100%, I think Chase and Jimmy Johnson are out of it. 100%. They are so far back,
I think
Jimmy's 51 points out. There's no way. Unless NASCAR rigs it, there's no way. Chase.
Keselowski probably has the biggest chance. Probably.
If there's a Hail Mary, Chase might. And I hate to say that because, the way this has happened for him is just so crappy. I almost said, never mind. I won't say what I almost said. So that's frustrating. I really just don't want Denny to be a part of it at all. I hope he blows an engine this week. Like, sorry, but I do. See, I don't want him to wreck. Like, I just want him to blow an engine. See, I'm being nice. Not asking for him to wreck into the wall. Like, as you're going around the apron, you know, maybe blow your engine then. So you don't hit anybody either, because I don't want anybody to get hurt from his stupidity. Oh, wait, they already did, you know, in the 30-car pileup because somebody's selfish. Anyhow.
Spare us no details.
I think you're right. I think Brad is in the perfect position, especially if Brad wins this week.
I mean, the way the season has been, though, it would be just so appropriate for just wild card. Oh, Blaney's the fourth driver. I mean, that would be like.
I mean, I'll cry. Like, you'll hear me crying. Like, I'm crying thinking about it. I would love for it to be Blaney.
Now, on the fairness of it all, Chase winning would be probably the best scenario because, you know, Ryan, he has won this year. Chase needs a win. So, I mean, it would be like the perfect ending to the year.
What's bad, though, is even if Chase wins, other things have to fall into place for him to still get in. Right? So.
I think so. Let me look.
You know, because they can't.
If Elliott wins, he will could clinch on points with Kyle Busch, Truex, Harvick. I lost my place. Could clinch on points with a Kyle Busch, Truex, Harvick, or non-playoff driver win and help. And that was a quote. That makes sense.
So pretty much Chase needs a win. I think him winning would be really good. First of all, for him, it would be a great redemption for him. Second of all, I think it would be really good for the sport to see the 24 back in victory lane. It would be incredible. Not only that, but to see an Elliott back in victory lane in the Cup Series would bring a lot of old fans back, I believe. So in general, yes, I would be happy if Chase won.
And I have to confess here, since we're getting to the end of the year, I can probably talk about this now, but I had, after the announcement of, you know, William Byron taking over the 24 and Chase Elliott going to the 9 next year, I was pretty, I talked with Caitlin. I'm like, I think I may stick with reporting on the 24 next year. Just keep with the legacy of the 24. And, you know, I know it's William Byron, but I'll keep on doing it. But I'll confess, I texted her this past week, and I'm like, I don't know now.
I get what you're saying. I'm
going to have to decide.
There's so much history with both numbers. That's like what's so hard about it. Like, which side of history do you want to be on? That's literally the question you're answering. And how this early in the stage, like, Chase is only going to be in his third year full time. Byron's going to be a rookie. Like, what side of history do you want to be on? That's literally the question you have to ask yourself, and that's the worst part.
And I started questioning it this past Sunday when they were, during the pre-race show, they were airing a little spot about the Elliott legacy and his dad and him, and I'm just like, I gotta pick.
That's a tough part. I should probably message Caitlin and tell her that I will write for the 12 next year and not the 21. I feel like I should probably say that.
I think she knows that. Yeah, you're probably.
Like, I'm not staying with the number. Like, I'm seriously trying to figure out how to make the whole number switch work on all my merchandise of his. Just saying.
Well, it's easier than mine.
That's fair. That's really fair. But I don't know. I think it would be really good for the sport if Chase won. However, I'm not saying that he can't win. I'm just saying that of the 3 people we have to choose from at this point, out of 5, I really don't want it to be Hamlin or Johnson. I don't want it at all. And Chase, he needs a Hail Mary to pretty much clinch. Like, at this point, a lot of people need to wreck or just be taken out. So that, like, it all falls into his favor. At this point, I think it's going to be Blaney or Keselowski. However, I mean, obviously, I'd pick Blaney. Obviously.
So basically...
But, like, I'm not going to be mad if it's Keselowski. I feel like I should say that. I'm not going to be mad if it's Keselowski. I'll be happy if it's Keselowski.
Yeah, so basically he has the best chance of getting in without a win.
Yes.
The rest of them basically have to win.
But, like, he needs to finish better than Hamlin regardless because
none of them wins. If none of them wins, it'll be just basically who's ahead in points.
Yeah.
Basically, right?
But it depends. So, from my understanding, it just depends on who finishes better because right now, Keselowski's only ahead 19 points. So, if he finishes 21st or worse, like, he's out.
Yo, this weekend gonna be fun.
I'm, like, really
just
excited.
Just watching this. Yeah, I mean.
So, I'm grateful because, like, Ryan, I feel like, got his redemption because he was so underestimated last year. And he got a win this year. And, like, I'm annoyed that he didn't win Rookie of the Year last year, but I'm okay with Chase winning. I'm just glad it wasn't Chris Buescher, let's be honest here. I feel like he really redeemed himself. He didn't need to redeem himself, but I feel like it was kind of like a shove it moment where it's like, let the haters talk. And you know what I'm really excited for next year? We're going to have another rookie on the track who's driving the 43, which has a huge legacy behind it, and he's going to get to tell them to shove it too, which he already is, and I love it.
Since you brought that full circle, if you haven't heard the news, we have a driver for the number 10.
Oh my God, it's so shocking. Weren't you so surprised?
Yes and no. I mean, it was enough in the rumor mill that I wasn't just shocked because everyone was like wondering if that may have been the case, but yeah, it'll be interesting.
The only reason he's at SHR is because he brought a sponsor with him. That's the only reason he's there. Only reason. 100%.
It's like you don't want to admit that.
I'm fine with admitting it. I've accepted it, and I'm aware of that. And
so, Danica.
Wait, so the whole Eric Almirola thing, did you not see Stuart Haas's Facebook mistake?
I didn't. I don't follow their page, so I didn't know someone else was talking about it.
Nicole, I follow their page, but Nicole caught it at the same time I did, but she actually posted about it on the announcement, before the announcement. So they had a post before the announcement. They accidentally put his name in it and then went and edited it and closed and like changed it and took his name out. But it was already too late because a crap ton of fans had already seen it. So it was like, yeah, it's so shocking.
Like, the announcement's made. Oh, really? No.
Yeah, so it was just really comical. Literally, I saw it at the same time that Nicole had just posted about it, and I was like, that's hilarious.
Embarrassing, but hilarious.
Very embarrassing. Very embarrassing.
Since I kind of do social media for NASCAR female, I can agree. That's just that would be embarrassing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, so I don't know if you can confirm this. I was talking to somebody at work about it today, actually. We were talking about the whole Danica situation. And Danica still doesn't have a ride for next year, for those of you who don't know. What's interesting, though, is they talked about Roush Fenway being a possibility. Yeah, because she really needs to be on the same team as her boyfriend, but whatever. Anyways. But my friend told me that Roush Fenway denied it. Did they deny it?
If you deny it, that means you thought about it.
Well, I haven't found anything about them denying it. So I don't know if if they did, if they retracted. So I'm just really confused about it. I think I don't know. I don't think she should continue.
She should just sit out and they'll get married and
I'm just saying, give another girl who can prove themselves their worth. Like, give Cassie Gannis a ride. Give Johanna Long a ride. Give Jennifer Jo Cobb a ride. Like, Give somebody else a chance.
I mean, and let's say Danica was really good at what she was doing. Still, there's so many ladies out there that are willing to whoop butt in racing and could do it if they just had the right sponsorship.
Exactly.
And I know sponsorship will like, well, we want the. This is one of my pet peeves. I'm not, a traditional feminist, but I have very strong opinions about. And women have come so far in every field. I mean, compared to 100 years ago, women were kicking butt in society. But there are still a few stigmas that we do have to undo. I think it's just the mindsets. The actuality of women in racing can be a reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think it's the stigmas and the behind, sponsorship thinking, well, they don't race as good. Who says they can't race as good? If you get behind them and put some money, they may race just as good. You don't know till you put them there.
Oh, thank you, Cassie. Cassie's watching. One of our ORs is watching, Cassie. She responded and said, RFR said they do not want a couple in the same organization. So that answers the question.
Which makes sense. Has that ever happened in the history of a sport?
I don't think so.
Probably not. Probably not. You get my drift.
I'm just really upset the 10 didn't go to Kenseth. I'm annoyed now. Kimberly's coverage apparently went out again. Kimberlina. Oh, she's back.
Not quite, but yeah, give me just a second.
Nope, she's not back. She lied. Lies.
Yeah, crap. Am I there?
Yep. I'm just kind of sad that Kenseth wasn't offered the 10 ride.
All right, what'd I miss?
I said I'm just kind of sad that Kenseth wasn't the one offered the ride.
He's got to. I mean, this is so awful for him.
It's just he had he still has a few good years left in the sport. I feel like he just really needed something new other than Gibbs.
Right, and he hasn't said he's gone for good. I don't know if you mentioned that, but it's he just probably needs a break to look back on, okay, is this really what I want to do? Because I'm spinning my wheels.
Yeah.
Everyone has that point where they really just need to assess, what is this what I want to do? It's nothing wrong with that. I guess the sad part is being the veterans that are just dropping off,
I mean, it happens, though. I just don't think anyone expected it to happen this back to back to back to back to back. And for some of them, for the way that it's happened, I don't think anybody expect that either. Yeah. I mean, obviously, people have to phase out as they get older. You have to retire at some point. I get that. I just don't think they expected it to be, Jeff Gordon, then Tony Stewart, then, Carl Edwards decides not to run. Greg Biffle's not running. Now Junior's not running next year, and then now Kenseth. And I just don't think anybody expected the blow to be this big.
Right.
Interesting now. Interesting though. Sorry, I was reading Twitter because Cassie was tweeting us. They're considering a change to the Roval, which is really interesting.
What kind of change?
So the change is they want to change the infield section a little bit. So they're thinking about eliminating the last loop because it's such a sharp turn. They said that they're worried about the amount of traction it's going to get just because in the testing, it didn't really go over that well. There were a lot of complaints. So that's something to keep an eye on, throughout the off season, because I'm sure they're going to be doing a lot of testing about it to figure out how it's going to work next year. So that's just something to keep our eye on.
I know we mainly talk about Cup here, but we do have our eyes on Xfinity and Truck Championships. Reading the clinch narratives, of course, for our Cup Series, and they listed Xfinity and Trucks too. To be honest, I haven't been following as closely to the points of the other series, but I'm looking here. Elliott Sadler, he could really use a championship. As much as I would love to see William Byron take it, he needs a freaking championship after these many years of losing. What the heck?
Sorry. My phone likes to make random noises.
Anyway, I mean, since several years ago when Elliott Sadler was battling with Stenhouse, and up until now, I just feel so sorry for the dude. He really needs a championship.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
I mean, why hasn't he moved to Cup? I mean, he's like the one guy who's like should be in Cup by now, but he's still in Xfinity. I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this.
I think there's a lot
championships
of like sponsorship and teams and stuff. Because
right.
You have to think about.
I mean, he feels happy where he's at. I'm not judging. I'm just wondering.
You have to think about it this way though too. Like, I guarantee Rick Hendrick has had the plans for Byron in place for a while, just like Penske and their little. I'm not going to swear games. They've had this plan for Ryan and set for how long? I mean, there is a method to the madness. I think it's a lot of, NASCAR fans don't actually get to see the behind the scenes as to, the plans and where their visions are and like how their vision aligns with what's currently going on in the sport. I just think there's a lot of behind the scenes that we just don't see. Are you frozen again? I'm going to start singing Frozen songs to you, like from the movie, if you don't stop freezing. Cassie said it'll keep us awake. I mean, I can. Your ears might bleed if I sing, though. Just saying. Are you back now?
Well, I thought I left, but I think I may have judged it too soon, so I switched. And I need to switch back.
Kimberlina. If y'all are paying attention, her picture, like how it's frozen, it almost kind of looks like all those like Instagram pictures you see where like girls have their mouths like halfway open, like, because that's like the hip thing to do. I just thought it was funny. Kimberlina. Now it's the logo. waiting for people to join this call. I'm just giving you guys a play-by-play of like what's actually showing on the screen, you know? Okay, all you see is me. Good to know. Thank you, Cassie. I appreciate the play-by-plays because then like I know what you guys are saying. So I'm just gonna go into track facts, and if she rejoins, she rejoins. We're at Phoenix this weekend, which is the second to last race of the season. Kind of disappointing. It's really saddening, actually, because even though NASCAR had. Oh, you're back. Okay. Cassie said all they could see with me. So
we gotta make this quick though. I'm on the house Wi-Fi, and you know how that goes. So we need to wrap things up like quick.
I was halfway in between track facts when you came back. So
all right, we'll make it back.
Okay. Front stretch or the degree of banking in the turns is 1 and 2 is 11 degrees, and then 3 and 4 is 9 degrees. The track length is 1 mile oval. So we're going to be doing 312 laps. Stage 1 ends at lap 75, stage 2 at lap 150, and the finish is at lap 312. Last year's the spring winner was Ryan Newman, his first win since 2013. And our 2016 November winner was Joe Logano, for those of you who aren't aware of who that is. Our pole winner in March was Joey, and our pole winner in 2016 was Alex Bowman. Most wins at Phoenix is Kevin Harvick and Jimmy Johnson. Most poles is Ryan Newman, Jimmy Johnson, Carl Edwards, and Kyle Busch. So Jimmy has the most top 5s out of any active driver, and Jeff Gordon has the most top 10s. Jimmy out of any active driver, though.
Okay, so who is your pick? Of course, I said I was probably going for Chase for the rest of the year, but I'll let you pick first.
Harvick.
That's sensible. Either him or Keselowski. I hesitate to pick him because he doesn't like need a win, but he'll probably be going for it.
Please don't pick him. I don't want him to be jinxed.
Okay. Blaney.
Just smack you. If I could smack like you across the face through the camera, that would be great. You're the worst.
Dang it.
Why couldn't you say Hamlin so that you do jinx him?
Well, because I actually picked Chase one week, and he almost did win if it wasn't for him, so it wasn't a legitimate jinx. So I think me picking could work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What's interesting though is Jimmy Johnson does lead top 10s most for driver still active and for top 5. So I think he might win this weekend, but I still don't think it would be enough it's not going to be enough for him to get in the playoffs in the next round.
Right, because several drivers, even if they win, they still got to have some points backing up those scenarios, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like with Chase.
Yeah.
Yep. So my pick. I'm going to pick Chase just because I really want to. I'm going to stick with it until at least next week because, I may have a different pick for next week because of the championship. So that's what we're going with. Last time picking Chase in the 24. I've got to do it.
You're not going to choose him for the last race of the season?
Well, it's hard because if he doesn't make it in, well, okay. It doesn't if he wins or not because next week we'll probably need to pick between the championship 4. That would be, or have at least 2 picks. I don't know how we should do it. It just depends on what happens this weekend.
I don't think I can talk about it next week because
If Chase wins, of course I'm going to pick him next week. Duh.
I don't think I can talk about it next week though, because like that means it's Junior's final race, and I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I'll bring you a load of tissues.
Yeah, that's gonna do real great for me, Kimberly.
Texting. I did it one time for Caitlin. I sent her a tissue via Twitter.
Oh, so great. Was it a gift? Please tell me it was a gift, because that will make me laugh.
No, it was a picture of me holding a tissue.
Okay, that's pretty funny too, actually.
Yeah. Just my hand with a tissue. I was like, here. So I think we covered all our bases, and if we have, thank you all for joining us this week for the burnout. Again, we're coming to the end of the season. Don't worry, we will be back next year for more awesome stuff. So we should have probably 2 more broadcasts left.
2 more broadcasts
One
left,
next week,
and
2 more broadcasts.
Next week we will have a special guest.
And don't forget to go to NASCARfemale.com to read all of the wonderful articles our ladies work so hard to write. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we will see y'all next week, same time, same place. Thank y'all for joining us, and have a great rest of your night.
Night, y'all.